All right. So, good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to class. No talking in class now. Oh, yes, the joys of Zoom, right? And recording. Okay, so welcome everybody. We're going to do a little bit of a lot of things today, because several things have been speaking to me. Um, so I hope you enjoy it, and I want you to just play and experiment. And I thought I would start by reading a quote. And forgive me, I will most certainly say his name incorrectly, but this is a quote from the wonderful uh, Vietnamese monk Thich Nhat Hanh. And I read it, and it just reminded me of some of the things we've been talking about and thinking about. So sit well, everyone, and we'll start with this. Maybe close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths. And his quote is this: "Around us, life bursts with miracles. A glass of water, a ray of sunshine, a leaf, a caterpillar, a flower, laughter, raindrops. If you live in awareness, it is easy to see miracles everywhere. When we are tired and feel discouraged by life's daily struggles, we may not notice those miracles, but they are always there." So I love that. I'm going to paste it to my forehead. Oh, so sit well and just kind of take that in. And maybe as your eyes are closed, you can think of a few of those miracles that you see and experience in your daily life. And sometimes they are the simple things we take for granted. Sometimes they're things that we may not notice, but are there, like a glass of water or a butterfly. Feel that. Breathe it in. And while we're here, maybe we say a prayer or a thought for not only the people in Turkey who are struggling with such a serious earthquake, but just all around the world where people are struggling or may not be able to see those miracles in everyday life right now. Good. And then open your eyes. Just start to roll the shoulders. Just roll. Start to get some movement there. Good. Couple more. And take the arms, inhale it up, exhale to your heart. Interlace, reach up, maybe glance up. Don't drop the head back, but maybe glance up. And then exhale, curl it all in. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, curl in. And when you move the arms, just feel the stretch, right? Exhale as you stretch through the chest and the shoulders. Good. Two more. Deep breath, everyone. Good. Last one. Take it up. And exhale, curl it in, and then shake all that out. Take one hand to your mat, take the other arm up. And breathe, just hold here. Now, not everybody's going to be on elbow. It depends on how tight you are through this area. So if you're up on hand, just make sure that that shoulder is soft and breathe. And then maybe reach over that knee and then reach back up to the side and reach over the knee and reach back over to the side. Good, one more here. Reach over your knee and reach up and over. Push up. Exhale the other side. Pause here, right? One side often tighter than the other. You can see that difference with me. This elbow doesn't come anywhere near the floor unless I lift off of the hip. So I'm just going to give that some time to stretch out, make sure that bottom shoulder is soft. And then reach over the knee and circle it up and over. Good, reach and up over. Good, one more. Reach up and over, just getting our little bodies warmed up. Push off, lift up. Exhale, cactus arms, twist everything to one side and then let the hands come down. One hand to the opposite knee, the other hand behind you. Roll both shoulders open. Yeah. And then notice where your head is, right? Where your neck is. You're not dropping the chin. You're not lifting. You're not over twisting the neck. There shouldn't be any tension there. Inhale, reach up. Cactus arms. Exhale, twist the other way. Let those hands come down and then open both shoulders away from each other. Again, notice the tension. Try to keep a little bit of space between your teeth. Breathe. Inhale, reach up. Exhale your hands to your heart. Roll the shoulders back and shake it out. Okay, so we're going to switch out your legs if you would like. In fact, if you always sit the same way, maybe you shake them out and go the other way. We're going to do a little bit of work with the face and the head before we really get grooving. So if you happen to be sitting in a chair, that's perfect. You can do all of this that way. I'm going to take my glasses off. So if you have glasses on, you might want to just take them off. You can probably follow mostly by listening. So take the hands right to your kind of jaw. Keep your teeth separate and then just kind of rub around the cheek up toward the jaw. I realize my little earbuddy things are going to be in my way. So you'll get the idea. Whew. Keep the teeth separate. And just kind of massage the muscles of your cheeks, right? And then come up to the cheekbones themselves, just 2 fingers, little rub here, maybe rub the other way. And then work your way up to your temples. Now, this for a lot of people, pretty tender. So just kind of rub, don't dig in too deep, go both ways. Breathe. And then work up to the edges of your hairline, or if you are no longer have any hair where that hairline used to be, and start to rub a little bit in that hairline. Yep. And then take hands right to the center, like where the bridge of the nose is, just kind of rub up 1 or 2 fingers on each hand and just stretch them up and spread them out. Good. So from the bridge of the nose, press it up, stretch it out. 1 more. Press up and stretch out. And then grab one each, like you're going to pinch your eyebrows. Okay. And you're just getting them really close to the bridge of the nose again. And then walk your way out and out. And out. Good. And then smooth those eyebrows out. Come down along the bottom of the eyes and from the bridge of the nose, smooth out the other way. Good. Shake that out. Switch out the legs if they're getting cranky. I want you to take your hands to your head, hair or no hair, and just start to, like you're scratching your head. If you've got a little bit of nails, even better. So we have tons and tons of nerve endings in the head. And when these scalps get tight, we can start to produce more headaches. So it's like you're getting a really great head massage, or you're getting your hair done at the hairdresser and she's giving it a good scrub. And then get the fingers more in the scalp. So less scratch and more scalp movement. So you're going to press your fingers in and you're just doing little circles in the scalp. And you can move those hands around. Hopefully this feels good. Just kind of shift, move. You can come closer. You're going to feel tender spots. Maybe your thumbs get behind your ears, right? And then if you have any hair, I want you to just kind of grab a hair, and you can grab either side and just give it a little bit of a pull, right? So it should not hurt. We're stimulating kind of those nerve endings, the hair follicles. Don't pull super hard. And then move your hands. And then move your hands maybe to the back. If your hair's really long like mine, maybe you just grab your ponytail and give it a little bit of a pull. And let go of that. I'm going to go ahead and get my hair out of the way now so you can see what else we're doing. Shift out the legs again if they're chatting. The next thing we're going to do is take our hands to the base of our necks. Right? So I'm going to turn around here. And you're just going to take the fingers on either side of your spine and rub on those muscles. I tend to kind of go from the base of the skull and down. Don't forget to breathe and keep space between your teeth. Keep space between your teeth. And then go to your shoulders. You can just pull, right? Good, let that go, shake it out. We're almost done. You're gonna take your thumb, please be mindful here, don't overdo it. You're gonna take your thumb and you see this jaw line. You're just gonna kind of hook your thumb under that jaw line a little bit. And you're gonna start in one spot and you're just gonna give it a little rub. Keep the teeth separate though. Yep, easy, right? Some of you, this won't bother you at all. Some of you, like me, I tend to grind a bit, my jaw tight a lot. This area gets really tight. And then work toward the middle. You're not going to go right at the throat, but you're just going to, do you feel this at all, anybody? Just small little back and forth with your thumb kind of hooking underneath that jawbone. Good, work toward the middle and then shake that out. Go to the other side. And it doesn't matter if you start low, start high. Breathe. Ooh. Especially when I start to get up closer to that joint up here, it's super tender. Don't think digging deeper is better, okay? If it's tender, just be super gentle. Ah. Good, shake that out. I want you to take your tongue and you're gonna keep your tongue inside, but circle around your teeth. So I can't do it and talk at the same time. Just go around your teeth one way, do that twice in one direction, twice in the other direction. Oh, and switch. And let that go. Good, right? Did you feel that? It's like, wow, those muscles. All right, last one here. We're going to do lion pose. So lion pose, you know, it's one of those things that I would never ever think I would do while recording. So Lion's pose, you kind of rear up, right? Like lion claws. And you stick your tongue out and you bug your eyes out and you roar. It is a yoga pose. So when you're ready, we're going to take a deep breath in and exhale. And release. Inhale. Exhale. Good. One more. Inhale. I may not post this. Inhale. Exhale. And release. And then maybe just kind of feel like what just happened, right? We worked the skull, the face, the jaw. We stuck our tongues out, which really helps to stretch those muscles. And maybe that felt pretty good to you. All right, so take those feet out in front of you. I know, right? Every part of the body is important. So we just try to do our best. And you might want to sit sideways on your mat, only because we want to try to make sure the knees are staying on something soft. So lean back and windshield wiper. And Betty and Linda, you might want to turn sideways. It's up on the mat. Huh? Yeah, just kind of rock, and roll. And when you do, kind of notice everything that's moving. This in and of itself is a little bit of a twist, and I love this. Plus, if your glutes are tender, right? If you've been doing some squats or whatever it is, this can feel really good as a massage. Good. Let the knees go to the left. I'm going to try to mirror here. Take this back knee and just move it back onto your mat. Okay. Front knee doesn't matter as long as it feels comfortable. Inhale, reach the arm up and reach it over and just tap. And then inhale it back up and reach back and tap. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale it up. And reach it back. One more here. And exhale. Good. Tap that hand forward. Listen up. So we've done this pose a number of times. It's a variation of what some people call five-pointed star. We're going to change it up just a little bit. And the first thing I want you to do is just kind of rock side to side. Both hands are on the mat. And it's kind of this top hip that's rolling back and rolling forward. You know, it's kind of that movement. Breathe. Starting to loosen up through the hips. Good. And then come back to a more neutral where both of your hands are equally weighted. Pretend these hands are like elephant legs, and I want you to walk one hand out and then walk the other hand out a little further. You trust where you're going to go here. Walk the one hand out a little further. Walk the other hand out a little further. And then see how far you can go walking the hands out. Some of you are going to be able to come all the way to your chest with both hands really outreaching, stretching beautifully through the right side. Breathe. Some of you are going to be up higher. Don't force it. That's it. Breathe. And then notice if your right shoulder is higher than your left shoulder. And if it is, see if you can draw that right shoulder a little closer to the floor. So you're going to feel a little more stretch along that back arm. And it sounds like somebody in my class is not muted. So maybe you can check.
Me?
Yeah. And then walk your hands up. Walk like a little elephant. Sit up really tall and then take that arm up and over again and bring the legs back to center. And before you go any further, I just want you to feel one side to the other side. Like, how does that feel in the moment? Good. Let's go to the other side. So the feet go a little bit wider. We're going to windshield wiper again. And breathe. We've been doing tons of upper body work these last few classes. Good. Next time the knees are over to your right, pause, take the back leg and get it comfortable for you. It's why I like sitting sideways so that both knees are on your mat. If one's on concrete or on a hard wood floor, it can feel yucky. All right, so here we go. Back arm, it reaches up and you tap it forward and then you reach up. Oh, I realized I forgot to do something. Stop the arm for just a second and move the hip. Just move. And if you're not sure what in the world that is, you can always take one hand to that back hip and just kind of rock it forward and back a little bit. Or both hands can be on the floor and you can do it that way. Don't forget to breathe. Keep a little space there. Good. And then relax that. Now take that back arm and tap it forward and reach it back. Good. Tap it forward and back. Betty, if that doesn't feel good, change it. And back. Good. And forward. We got one more. Reach it back. Open that chest. Reach it forward and pause. Same thing on this side. We're going to start to walk these arms out, these hands out like they were elephants. So one at a time. We're kind of walking and walking. Yep. And walking. And walking. We're just going to see, can I keep reaching out until I can't go any further? And then maybe your head rests on the floor. Maybe it's resting on a block. Maybe you're on your elbows. And breathe. And again, notice if your left shoulder is high and your right shoulder is low. See if it can square off just a little bit. And breathe. And then push into your hands, one hand at a time. Push back up. Release your legs. Take both legs into Baddha Konasana. Butterfly pose. Just feel that. Maybe flutter those wings just a little bit. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. Good. Take the legs together. And let's come to table pose. Now, you may or may not want a blanket under your knees. You may or may not want a blanket for under elbows in a little bit, and I'll explain. So you're coming to table pose, and I want you to come down to elbows. And once you're on elbows, I want you to turn the palms face up. That might feel kind of weird. Check the knees. You want the knees basically below the hips so that you're not too crunched up in the middle. And then melt through your shoulder blades. So as if you could touch your chest to the floor and then push up and out. The head stays pretty neutral. Think down and push up. So when you sink down, the shoulder blades get closer together. When you push up and out, the shoulder blades move away from each other. It's retraction and protraction. Good. One more. Squeeze down and squeeze up. Now, make sure your elbows are under shoulders. Your hands are back of your hands are pressing into the mat. I want you to flip your toes under and see if you can lift your knees off the floor. If this is too much, turn the palms down. Breathe, everybody. And then maybe don't lift too high. Maybe float a little further forward and a little further back. A little further forward and a little bit back. Good. One more. Float forward and float back. Lower your knees to the floor. Either stay here, more of a puppy-ish stretch, or reach back for child's pose with the palms face up. So palms face up are kind of causing you to stay externally rotated with those upper shoulders, something that we do in downward facing dog a whole bunch. So feel that work, right? You should feel something going on, right? With those upper shoulders being this externally rotated. Good. And then turn your palms down. Try to keep that external rotation. Come on up to table pose. Plant your hands. Flip your toes under, lift the knees. See if you can stay externally rotated in the shoulders. Maybe you glide back, stay low, and maybe you glide forward. You're not lifting into down dog. Lean back and lean forward. Whoo, I know, right? Lean back, lean forward, and then find downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, pedal out the feet. Check your head, check your neck. If the hands feel too narrow, right? Sometimes we'll take those hands too narrow and the shoulders have nowhere to go. So maybe you take those hands wider, but stay pressing through the index finger, that knuckle. And then inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, slowly lower your knees to the floor. Press back to a brief child's pose. Turn your palms face up. Let the elbows come to the floor. Slide forward and come into Sphinx pose, palms up. Some of your mats may not let you slide. Okay, so if it doesn't happen, don't worry. Just come into Sphinx pose, palms are face up. Now, feel your body, feel the tops of your feet. Lower back's chatty early this morning. Take the feet nice and wide on the mat, right? And then reach toward those pinky toes. That's going to help keep the pelvis nice and wide. Feel your arms under your shoulders. Feel the backs of your hands press into your mat. Tone the belly in, push into your knees, lift your belly. Don't go high. Push into your knees and lift your hips off the floor. Core work here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, lift up. Breathe. On your exhale, push into your knees, lift your belly, drop your head. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hips, lift the chest and the head. We got one more. Push into your knees, curl your belly off, let the head hang. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Whoo, I know, right? Turn your palms face down. Good. Listen up. You're going to press up and walk the knees in. So you're back at this weird table pose on your elbows. Press your right leg back and then lift that right leg. So this is a variation of balancing table. Press into your hands. Imagine that you can stay lifted away from the floor. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to walk the left hand out until you're on fingertips. And breathe. Try not to hike the head up. If you're looking way up at the top of your mat, look down toward the in between those arms. Good. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to take that left hand, balance work, and reach it back behind you, palm up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Elbow down, leg down, knee down. Slide through those hands. Sphinx pose. And breathe. And then sway side to side. Yep. And just breathe. Just sway side to side. Back to the middle. Hang in there. I know this is kind of funky, but working some different muscles, right? Yes. All right, here we go. Press into the knees, lift the belly, drop the head. 3 more here, core work. If you lift too high, you're going to come out of core. So don't be tempted, or maybe you should lift too high. And release, head up. Exhale, take it in. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Inhale. Exhale. Push, push, push. Lift that belly just a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Feel that. I know, everybody. Trust me. Lower down. Push up to table pose. And then press back to child's pose or puppy stretch. If you're in child's pose, turn the palms face up. And breathe. And then turn the palms face down. Come on up. Table pose. Drop down to your elbows. Turn the palms up. We've got to do the other side for balancing table. Press the left leg back. Lift the legs. Stay out of that. Try not to sink down. Nice neutral spine. 1, you're here. 2, the right fingertips. Walk out into a little spider. Breathe. Feel good here. Stay here. Otherwise, lift. Take it back behind you. Palm face up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it. Take it down. Turn the palms down. Push into your hands to lift those hands up. Downward facing dog. Shake it out, everybody. I know. Upper body work can be really challenging. Take your feet wide on your mat. Walk your hands back. Either your hands are on the floor on blocks or on shins, but let the head hang here. Really let it be heavy. Maybe slow, comfortable circles right here. Be gentle. If you tend towards some vertigo, you might not want to do this more than once. Take both hands to your shins, come halfway up. And breathe. Take both hands to your back pockets. Pull those hips down as you lift your chest up. Squeeze the shoulders back. Squeeze back. And let go. Whew. Right? It's amazing when you take your poses from hands to elbows, how much more has to work. All right, so just a little bit of opening here. I'm just going to turn sideways since I got the wall. I want you to take the arm up, reach it back and down. Let it be very purposeful. Let the palms circle. Open. Relax your jaw. Keep space between your teeth. And open. Good. One more. Reach. And shake it out. Big heavy arm. Go the other side. Reach it back. Open up the shoulder, right? Shoulders, right? Tricky little joint there. Good. 2 more. Open it up. Let that chest open up. Let the head turn, right? Really just work with the joint. Last one. And shake them all out. Come back to the front of your mat. You're going to need your blocks. So you can have your blocks within reach. Feel that upper body again, right? We can get really tight through here. So inhale, reach it up. Exhale, forward fold. Soft knees, everybody. Try to let the head hang. Even if it's not your normal, if you need the blocks or hands on your blocks, go ahead and do that. But just let the head hang. Bend your knees, step back with your right leg. Grab your blocks. I've got mine on second level. You can have yours on first, second, or third. And then squeeze the inner thighs together. You might want to take your right knee down. That's perfectly awesome. And feel this nice lunge. And then as you exhale, take the front leg and start to straighten it. Move the blocks as you need to. Breathe. If your blocks are on low or medium and it feels too crunchy, too low, then take them up a little bit higher. Find length. And then with both feet on your mat, I want you to imagine pushing them away from each other. That's it. And then release that push. Bend your front knee. Your right hand will stay on your block. I just lowered mine because I don't need it that high. Take the left arm forward and then lift it up. Don't lift the chin, but you can look up toward that hand, stretch through the wingspan, and then take that top hand behind you and reach for your opposite side waist. Watch for tension in the head and the neck. If it feels really tight, maybe you just look at the wall to the side or you look down at your foot. Breathe. Take the leg up, or sorry, take the arm up. Exhale that hand down to the floor. If your blocks are on low, it's usually pretty stable to step back to down dog or just move them out of the way. Breathe. Inhale to your tippy toes, exhale to your toe or to your knees. Sit back for a moment in child's pose. Maybe tuck your head so you're looking through your feet. And then lift back up, table pose. From here, either just step forward with your right leg or go to down dog. And then step forward with your right leg. You're back in your lunge. Maybe your blocks go up to the medium level. Your left knee can be down. Make sure your pose is wide enough, right? So you're not walking your tightrope. Find your pose, open up your shoulders, and press back. Straightening that front leg. I always say straight is relative. It depends on your hamstring. So if your front leg isn't fully straight, don't worry about it. It's a hamstring stretch. Open the shoulders, push the feet away from each other isometrically. And then soften that, bend your front knee. Your left hand will stay on your block. Your right hand will reach forward and go up, up, up. Find the wingspan, everybody. Remember that chin, right? There's a tendency in these kinds of poses to, when we're rotating the neck, to lift the chin, and that puts tons of pressure at the back of the neck. So we don't lift it, we keep it neutral. And then reach that hand behind you. See if you can find the opposite side waist. Open it up. Keep the legs steady. Breathe. Release that hand. Take it up. Exhale it back to your block. Good. Listen up. You're going to bend your front knee if it isn't already. Step forward. Hands either to blocks or to floor. Let the head be heavy. And then bend both knees, hands come to knees, come on up to standing. Whoo, find your equilibrium, roll the shoulders and shake it out. Both hands behind you, palms face back. Now here's an interesting thing. When we try to work the back body and I extend the arm back, the shoulder can roll forward. We don't want this, right? We want this. So sometimes I'll take my hand to my chest, and as I press the hand back, I'll lift the chest. Yeah, you feel that, Betty? Big difference on one side just to stretch the arm back. The head stays neutral. I'm not lifting, not tucking, but the shoulder moves back instead of the shoulder joint moving forward. And then take it out, turn, and lift up. Take it back out to the side, turn it in, pull the shoulder back. Good, one more, reach it out, turn the palm up, lift up. And then exhale out, turn, open, press back. Keep that chest tall. Good, shake it out. Other side. I like the hand on the chest because it gives me that feedback. So I know I'm not sinking in. All right, so same thing on this side. Press back, keep the chest lifted so that head of the shoulder stays back in space. And breathe. That's it. And then when you're ready, take it up. Reach, palm face in. And then take it out and reach it back. Super easy to go back to here, right? Just a little bit of lack of attention. And then take it up. And exhale it back and reach back. Good, one more. Reach it up, turn it in. And exhale, roll it out, reach it back. And let that go. And just kind of feel that, right? Shoulder joints. And then both hands back. You're going to keep that chest lifted, press both hands back, bring the head back in space, and then just pat back, just pulse back. Keep the chest tall. Oh, I feel this already. Bit of tricep, bit of rear deltoid. Breathe, whew, breathe. And take them up. Whew. And exhale down, roll it out. Good job, everyone. Come on back to the front of your mat. And again, feel what's starting to happen here with this opening of the upper body or of the front of the body, right? As we start working this back body. Inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down. Your hands can go to your blocks if you'd like. Step back with your left leg. Fire up the legs. Use your breath. Your left hand stays on your block. Inhale, lift the right arm, reach it back behind, take it right to your outside waist or your opposite side waist. Roll the shoulder open. So as your top shoulder, as your right shoulder retracts, as it draws toward the other shoulder blade, the lower shoulder blade draws in, right? Creating this really sweet little straight line. Big deep breath. Release, take it up. Exhale, hands to blocks. If the blocks are low, great. Step back down dog. If not, maybe take hands off blocks. Inhale, tippy toes, lower your knees. Exhale, just a quick reach back to child. Curl it up. Back to downward facing dog. Find your breath. Step forward, left leg. Find your lunge. Inhale, reach up. Reach, reach, reach. Take that arm back and behind. Reach for your opposite side waist. Find your pose. Check your head, check your neck. Opening up the front of the chest, working with the back. Breathe. You got this, everybody. And release that arm. Take it up to the ceiling. Exhale it down to the block. One more time. Step back. Downward facing dog. Find your pose. Lower your knees. And just child's pose or hero pose just for a moment's break. Soften through your shoulders. So again, sometimes in child's pose, we reach the arms forward and we may stress the shoulders doing that. So maybe those hands go under your forehead. Instead, something that's a little more gentle. And breathe. All right, so come on back. We're coming to table pose for this one. Now, a pose we don't play with very often is dolphin pose. Why don't we play with it very often? It's on your elbows, and that can be really challenging for people. One option, right? Sometimes our mats, like if you have a good mat, your elbows stick like glue. And after a while, it's like you start to lose some of the skin back here, I think. So one option, you can grab your blanket and use that. Just make sure your elbows aren't gonna slip. So blanket is up to you. Come on down to your elbows and turn the palms face up like we did before. And feel as if those shoulders, those upper shoulders are gonna get really, really wide. And then interlace the fingers from there. Keep the elbows where they are. Take your pinky finger out from the very bottom and just let it rest inside so that you're not leaning on one finger. Press into the fullness of those forearms from the pinky side of the hand through the wrist, through the elbows, and feel yourself pull away from the floor a little bit. From here, you're going to flip your toes under, lift, and you're coming into what feels like and looks like a downward facing dog, except that you're on elbows. Your head is free flowing between those arms. If your head is on the floor, I would come to hands and do downward facing dog. If you're in dolphin, one, you're here. Two, you can walk the feet closer and come into what is more of a handstand or a headstand prep. Breathe. This is a ton of work for the shoulders. If you walked your feet in, walk your feet out. Lower down to your knees. Child's pose, puppy stretch. Those hands go back behind you or under your forehead. Deep breath. Good. All right, we're getting there, my loves. All right. Table pose. Blocks are at the front of your mat. Just simply step forward, left foot. We'll keep this one a little simpler. Lift your right knee off the floor and turn your back foot to the side position. Take your left hand to your left knee, press up to warrior two. Warrior two. I know, breathe. In fact, drop the arms for a second and just roll it out. Good, and Lenny, notice that front knee is really rolling in to the middle, so take your back foot point a little more forward. And then see if that front hip will roll back a little. Yeah, better. Breathe, take the arms out. You're gonna take that front hand or that back hand, internal rotation, reach for the opposite side of your mat or your waist or your mat. Take your front elbow to your front thigh. Easy pose right here. Find your breath. Some of you are going to stay here. Some of you are going to go into a bind, something we do not do very often. Do not force it. What this means is that that front hand that's resting on your thigh is going to drop down through the front and reach for the back hand. Please don't force this. If your chest has dropped to the floor, you're too deep. You're out of pose. Breathe. Stay with the elbow to the thigh. Release the hands, come on up. Ooh, stretch out the arms and let go. So what did I mean by that, right? Oh, itchy eye. So binds we don't do very often, and I just threw that in for an extra challenge. And you can use your strap for a bind. But here's what happens. If we're forcing it, if we're trying to do a bind that isn't going to happen, this is what happens. I drop my chest toward my leg to try to get there, okay? Ideally, we keep this open so that if we're here, there's my fingers, right? The front chest is open. Doesn't work for everybody. You can, if you really are like, really want the bind part, you can take your strap and do a bind here. That's kind of sweet. But remember what the goal is, right? The goal is not that you touch your fingers. The goal is that we're opening and working with this top shoulder. So if you're here, maybe you grab your thigh and stay there instead of trying a bind. Cabiche? All right. Other side. Shake it out. All right. So taking it should be your right foot forward, your left foot back. I'm just going to turn sides, switch sides. Find warrior pose. And breathe. Checking that front knee, right? If your front knee is doing this, take this part back. Okay, does that make sense? And then turn that body sideways. Yeah. Right, so it's move. If we move the hip, the knee will move. There we go. All right, so here we are. Arms are up, out, open. Take the back arm, reach behind you. Find that side of your waist. Take the front arm and drop down into extended side angle. Open the shoulder. Use your breath. And then see if you want to play. Maybe you drop and you find the bind. Maybe you don't. Does it make you a better or worse yogi or person or anything? Breathe. Release. Press up. Woo! Open those arms. Turn all your toes to face the same direction. Reach the arms up as if you're holding the beach ball in between. And then turn the palms out. Turn, 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 turn. Reach behind you, press them back. Lift the chest. Oh, there it is. And take it out. Lordy, lordy, lordy. I know. All right, we're getting there. Class seems to be going really quickly for me today. I got so much to do. Shake it out. Back to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down. Have your blocks. Soften the knees and step back with your right leg. Turn your back foot to the side position. Grab your left hand block and place it outside your left ankle. You can take it up at the highest level for right now. Push that hand into your block. Take your right hand to your hip. And then straighten your front leg, triangle pose. That's all that is. Adjust your pose as you need to, right? Open both shoulders. Think about it. Lengthen through, take your top arm up to the ceiling. Here's that wingspan. Draw from the center of your chest to the shoulder, to the elbow, to the hand. Draw that in a straight line. And then take the top hand behind you and find that bind again, either just the hand to the waist or your hand to your thigh. And breathe. I know. Just notice. If you want to try a bind, you're letting that hand go that's on the block, and you're doing the same thing. This is harder because the leg is straight. You have less room. Release, hand to block. Bend your front knee. Come on up to standing. Open both arms. Whew, and take it down. Shake it out. I know. Step forward and then just step back. I'm going to go back. I'm going to have my back to you this time just so if I can do a bind on this side, you'll see more of the bind part. So front leg is straight, right? Triangle pose, coming into it just a little bit differently. The arms come out, shoulder blades are engaged. And then I'm going to reach down. I'm just going to grab my block. Keep it simple. Open up the pose, take the top arm up. Think of that stretch moving from the center of your chest straight up. And then internal rotation, reach it behind you reach for the opposite side waist or your thigh. Not everybody has this range of motion, so don't worry about it, right? This doesn't change anything. You're just working with this opening of the shoulders. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to let go of the block. Whoop. You're going to find your bind. And breathe. Release, press in, lift up. Whoo. Release the arms, step forward. I know it's a lot, everybody. And then grab one of your blocks between your cute little hands, elbows out to the side, and squeeze in. Why are we doing this? This is the opposite of everything we've just been doing, right? We've been stretching the heck out of the front chest and front shoulder joint. Now we're engaging. Just breathe, don't hike up, keep them down, and squeeze. It should feel good. Does it feel good to kind of release all that? Yeah. And let go. Whew. All right. Good. Come on. All right. Come on back. You're at the front of your mat. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, take it down. Step back, downward facing dog. And then lower down to your knees. Good. Last kind of interesting pose here before we just take it all the way to the floor. Now we're going to come back to dolphin pose. And I want to give you one more option, but I'm going to ask you to be really mindful about it. So if you're down on elbows, you can start with the palms face up and then interlace the hands and tuck your pinky finger in. From here, press into your full forearms all the way through the hands and come to dolphin pose. Again, if the head is resting on the floor, I would prefer you're in down dog and don't worry about the rest of it, right? So 1, you're here. The sit bones lift up, the belly tones in. 2, walk the hands in. That's a lot more for the shoulders. Head is heavy. 3, you're going to lift one leg and breathe. Release that side. Lift the other leg. Release that side. Lower your knees. Reach through puppy stretch, puppy stretch. Feel the stretch on your shoulder blades. Slide onto your belly. Release your head all the way down to your hands. From here, just turn your head to one side. Let it continue to rest on your hands, but turn it to one side. Relax your jaw. Keep space between your teeth. Find your breath. And then turn your head to the other side. And just pause. If the neck feels tight, just see if you can breathe into it. If it feels really uncomfortable, don't turn the head quite so much. Separate the teeth, everybody, so that the jaw can relax. If the jaw relaxes, the neck will have a better time relaxing. And then take the head center, come back to your elbows, Sphinx pose. Take the elbows a little wider than normal. Mindful again of your neck, drop your chin. Just let it be heavy again, space between the teeth. Big stretch here. And then inhale as if you're smelling, as if you're sniffing a beautiful flower. And exhale, let it go, head down. Inhale, smell that beautiful flower. Exhale down. One more inhale. And exhale. And then lower down. Take both hands beside you, palms face down. Or I'm sorry, palms face up. Pull both shoulders away from the floor. Lift both hands. Lift both legs. Lift your head, neck, and chest. Breathe. Does not have to be big. Back body. And lower down. Let the hands come back under your head. We've got one more here and we're done with all that. Take just your right hand out at a diagonal. So if you're in the middle of your mat, your arm is just kind of going right across the corner edge of your mat and your palm is face up. Your head is down and relaxed. And I want you to just lift the arm from here, just a little. It's hard work. And lower it down. Two more, just like that. Lift. And lower. One more, lift. And lower. Replace your hands. So one hand under your head, the other one goes out at that diagonal. Palm face up. And lift. Whew. And lower. Two more. Lift. Palm up. And lower. Last one, lift. And lower. Holy moly. Good, everybody. Turn onto your backs. Keep your feet on the floor for a moment. Your hands are down along your sides. Your palms are face up. And maybe the palms are out a little bit off the mat. So they're on either side of your mat. And then just press the shoulders into the floor. Don't change the head. Try not to lift the chin. If it lifts a little, it's okay. As if you were going to lift your chest or the back off the floor, that upper back. Push down and then just release. Push the shoulders down. Squeeze into the floor and release. Good. One more. Press and release. And then take both hands to the shoulders and see if you can walk your fingers down either side of your shoulders. So the elbows are kind of pointed up toward the ceiling. And then press down into those shoulders. Pull them down. Let the elbows come down toward your body. And then maybe turn the head one way and turn it the other way. Good. Go back to the first side. And to the other side. Good, back to center. As you release, let those fingers walk up the back of the neck, just giving yourself a massage again. What happens is the trapezius muscles go all the way up to the base of the skull. And so if the shoulders are tight, the neck is tight because that muscle, along with some others, goes all the way up there. Pause for a second here and then take both hands to the fronts of your thighs and push your thighs away, push them away. If you want a little bit more, either bring the feet in closer or come up to the ball mound so that the thighs are closer. You're just creating some resistance here by pushing your hands into your thighs. Shoulders are going to hike up a little. And release that. And then take just one hand overhead, palm face up, elbow bent. One hand up. Take the other hand up to mimic it. Both elbows are bent. The arms are somewhat extended, but not fully. So the elbows are soft. And let the elbows be heavy. The head is neutral. And then super gentle. I mean, just barely. I want you to press your head straight back to your mat. Go really easy though. This is like 5% or less. And then let go of the press. Good, one more, just press straight down and let go of that and breathe. Take the hands underneath the head, a soft interlace so that it feels comfortable. So however you're doing it, make sure it's comfortable so that you're not putting a lot of pressure on the fingers. Lengthen through your tailbone. So pick the hips up, lengthen through your tailbone, and then take the legs to Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together. Imagine you're in a recliner and you're kind of taking on this funky little pose, but everything is comfortable, especially in the neck, especially in that neck. Space between the teeth. Big deep breath. And only if you want, take your tongue and go around your teeth 2 times in one direction, 2 times in the other. And relax that. Space between the teeth. Release your hands. Hands come down to your sides. Palms are face up. The arms are externally rotated, something we've been working with all class. Breathe. Bring the legs together. Soles of the feet to the floor. You're going to do one last thing. The hands go behind the head. The knees come closer to your chest. Your feet are off the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, squeeze it all into the middle. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze. One more, inhale. Exhale, squeeze. And let it go, everybody. Straightening one leg and then the other. And then decide for you where those arms should be. If they're down at your sides, I actually want you to hike the shoulders a little so that the muscles between the shoulders are super soft. They're not going to be scrunched up, but they're not going to be pressed way down. or take the arms overhead in the softest kind of cactusy pose that you can and let the muscles slacken that way. Keeping space between the teeth. Breathe. Allow the miracles that are everywhere in our lives to make themselves known in your body, in your heart. Breathe, everybody. Go nice and soft on your mat. Take a nice deep breath in, everybody, and an audible sigh out. One more time. Inhale, deep breath. Exhale, audible sigh. And then stay in Shavasana if you would like a little bit longer. We ran just a little late today. So stay if you can and if you would like to. Otherwise, wiggle your toes and draw your knees to your chest and just squeeze those knees in and hold here for a few breaths. Just feel that. Maybe the arms cross your chest. Maybe they're wrapped around your legs. And then rock to one side or the other side. And roll all the way over and then press up to your seat. Bring your hands to your heart. And say again a little metta prayer for all of those who are suffering. May they find safety and security and enough food and some glimpse of the miracles even in the devastation. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you,
Namaste.
everybody.